What do you think people's greatest fear is? Is it the fear of heights, the fear of spiders, maybe even the fear of death? Wrong, incorrect. The number one answer is people are most afraid of public speaking. Like what? Public speaking is talking to people? You see, I feel like a lot of people inflate this concept of public speaking to be something that's gregarious, something that's so big that they're afraid to take charge of because there's so much pain that people associate to speaking to groups. Oh my God, are they gonna judge me? Are they gonna judge what I'm wearing? Are they gonna judge my tone? Are they gonna judge my content? The answer is no, they won't. And in this video, we're gonna talk about some tips that you can use to eliminate that fear of public speaking forever. Because if you have a fear of public speaking, that's not a great thing. There's going to be so many times in your life where you have to give presentations in some shape, way, or form. It might even be a job interview. It might be a presentation you got to give for college and you have to go to the front of the room. And rather than stress about it and freak out about it, wouldn't it be nice to just be able to prepare and knock it out of the park and do a good job? Because the thing about public speaking is to overcome your fear, it's a simple shift in the way that you think about it. And in this video, we're gonna talk about how to completely eliminate your fear of public speaking. Let's get right to it. I'm Brandon Eastman with BeBetterIndustries.com, and on this YouTube channel, we talk about peak performance, mindset, and achievement. Achievement towards your goals, achievement towards your dreams. So go ahead, hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell. That way you're notified of all future videos that we release every single Monday. And be sure, if you have a fear of public speaking right now, or you just want to improve in your public speaking abilities, then hit the like button below. That way this video is shown to more people just like you. Because I remember my first presentation ever. I was asked by my boss to come out and give a training to 20 salespeople, and I talk about this story in one of my previous videos, which I'll put right in the description as well as right in the card above that you can click on if you want to see that. But I had all these visions in my mind and these pictures in my head that people were going to reject me. The people that I spoke to didn't want to hear from me. The people that I spoke to would be judging me from the front of the room. And what happened was I got to the presentation and I found out all of these grandiose visions of fear and of pain were completely created in my mind. They weren't just, okay? They were fake. The reality is, if you have a fear of anything, I want you to think about what that is, okay? If it's public speaking, I'm assuming that is what it is because you're on this video, then I want you to think about public speaking, and I want to ask you, what do you think about when you think of your fear of public speaking? Think about in your mind, even close your eyes and think about, what do you see in your mind's eye? What do you see in your theater of imagination when you think of public speaking? Do you think of people booing you? Do you think of people not paying attention? Do you think of people having conversations while you're talking? Like, what is it? What are you envisioning with this fear of yours? Where does this fear come from? In order to overcome your fear, you have to confront your fear and realize where it's coming from. Maybe you were bullied in the past, or maybe you were always constantly interrupted by your family or your friends. Maybe you've just never been able to communicate a message, or maybe you come from a different language than English and your presentation's in English and you're wondering whether it's going to be relayed to people. Well, think about that picture in your mind. And then I want you to realize your fear of public speaking, that picture in your mind, is just that. It's a freaking picture in your head. It's not real. It's just a vision. It's a video in your mind of what you don't want to happen. And that's what worry is. That's what fear is. Fear is false expectations appearing real. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that's the reality that you're living in. And I've got some tips that are going to help you with this because I've used them in my own life before big presentations where I was nervous. And you know what? That nervousness is good, and that's something that we'll talk about here. But the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take that vision in your mind of public speaking, and I want you to start to contort it. Instead of seeing what you don't want to happen, I want you to see in your mind's eye what would happen if your talk went extremely well. I want you to see the faces of the people in the audience with a big smile on their face. I want you to see people completely engaged in what you're sharing with the room. I want you to see their faces and see them in the audience and see it as if they just had a huge breakthrough in their mind, something that you shared completely changed their life. I want you in your mind's eye to see yourself presenting smoothly. See yourself presenting with great volume. See yourself presenting with great preparation. I want you to see it in your mind's eye, right in your head. You can close your eyes as you do this. See it as if you had a magnificent outcome. And you might be saying, this is pretty cheesy, but guys, let me tell you something. The way that we think is represented in videos that play in our mind or pictures in our mind. And usually fear is a big inflated video in our mind of what we don't want to happen. And you know the best way to change that is to change the scene. Change the movie that you're playing in your head. Change it to something that's better for you. Change it to a movie that you actually like. Because if you go into a presentation or if you go into a speech where you're about to talk to an entire room of people and you have this vision in your mind of people not paying attention, guess what you're going to notice? You're going to notice the people who aren't paying attention. You're going to notice the people having side conversations. You're going to notice the people who are disengaged. But if you go into this with an expectation in your mind that everything is going to be great, then you're going to see the people with a big smile. You're going to see the people who have the breakthrough experiences. You're going to have the people come up to you afterwards and say, wow, Joe, you did an amazing job. Brandon, thanks so much for that information you shared with me today. You seem so natural. You seem like you've done this before. By assuming in your mind beforehand that you're going to have a magnificent outcome, you will have a magnificent outcome, or at least much better than if you had made that new image in your mind. So you might be thinking, how do I practically use this? Well, the day of the speech, I want you to make a video in your mind for 5 minutes. Sit on the couch for 5 minutes and just visualize what a magnificent outcome for your presentation would be. See the faces of the people, see the breakthrough experiences, see the people who are engaged, and see them stand up at the end of your mental movie. Picture a standing ovation. It might not happen, but just picture it anyway as if it would happen. Because that's going to translate to your actions. That's going to translate to how you communicate a message. And you can even do this several days before the big talk, a week before the presentation, a month. Start it immediately. Every single morning you wake up, sit on the couch, or if you're in the car with somebody else, and don't do this while you're driving, but if you're the passenger, close your eyes and whenever you have free time, see the outcome that you want to see. And you can do this with anything in your life, not just public speaking. You can do this with relationships. You can do this with sales. You can do this with any kind of conversation you're about to have that you're nervous about. Visualize the outcome that you want, a magnificent outcome. And I know it will make a big difference for you. Now, earlier I mentioned that feeling of nervousness that you're going to feel before your talk. You might feel this feeling a week before, a few days before. Personally, I get that feeling about an hour before any presentation that I'm gonna be giving. And if you know me and what I do, I give presentations every freaking day. Yet I still get nervous before I give one. And by the way, you can use this for virtual trainings. You can use this for presentations in person, presentations online. You can use this for conference calls, any kind of presentation. It's not just physically in front of a group. It's any kind of public speaking. I get that feeling of nervousness, and we all do. Now, I don't look at that feeling as nervousness, because let me ask you a question. When you're feeling nervous, how do you know that you're feeling nervous? Kind of a weird question, right? You might say, well, I feel jittery. I start to sweat. I start to get nervous, and you just use the word of the emotion that you're describing. But how do you know that that feeling of nervousness isn't actually excitement? How do you know you're not excited? Think about it when you're excited. How do you feel when you're excited? Where do you feel that feeling? It's probably throughout your whole body. You probably get jitters in the same places you do when you're nervous. You might start to sweat. You might start to speak faster. You see, the feeling of excitement has the same stimulation on your body and in your nervous system as nervousness does. So before a big talk, don't tell yourself with your self-talk that you're nervous. Tell yourself that you are excited. You're excited for the magnificent outcome that you've already visualized. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go in front of that room now that you're excited. And you're excited to convey your message. You're not nervous that you're going to be judged. All you need to do is shift the script. Rather than say, I feel nervous, in your mind, say, I'm excited. I feel ready. You know the way that I think about it? When I feel that excitement in my body, I know I'm ready. I know I'm prepared. okay? If you don't feel that excitement, or what I like to call that nervous energy, if you don't feel that nervous energy, it means you're not ready. It means something is wrong, okay? You should always feel that feeling of excitement because you're so nervous and you're so fearful until you step in front of the room. And once you're there in the present moment, you're there and you're gonna do great. Especially if you follow the 4 tips I talk about in the previous video in the description, you're gonna be fine. Even if you're not a seasoned pro, even if this is the first time you've done it, you're gonna be okay. Because all you need to know is your outcome. All you need to know is what you're there to do. Just do it and sit back down, or do it and leave. That's it. You see, we create that video that is so much more fearful than the actual experience really is. So have a magnificent outcome in your mind. Take that nervousness and turn it into nervous energy. Turn it into excitement. And the last thing that I'll leave you with that has helped me a lot, because I'm a fast talker naturally, is when you have that nervous energy and you're in front of the room, try not to talk so fast that people can't understand you. Okay, try to slow it down. Even if you are a normal talker, just slow it down another decibel. Make it a little bit slower, because while it might seem slow to you, it's pretty normal speed to the people that you're talking to. So slow it down. Take that nervousness and turn it into energy. And rather than have that big picture of what you don't want to happen in your mind, have the picture of the magnificent outcome in your mind. Because since you're here watching this video right now, I know that you're serious about improving in this. You have nothing to worry about. You're going to do a great job as long as you follow these techniques. And remember, the more you do it, the better you get. Now, if you found value from this video, hit the like button so more people who need this help can get it. And be sure to hit the subscribe button below, because it supports me, and it also allows you to see all the new videos that get released every single Monday. And in the description, I actually put a link to my book. I want to give you a free ebook copy of my book. It's called Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. And I talk about some of these principles in the book, but it also talks about what you can do for your health, what you can do for your relationships, what you can do emotionally to prepare for any situation, not just public speaking. Click the link, put your email in, I'll send you a free copy of that book because I know it's gonna help you out. And until we speak next time, be better.